Hey friends, are you thinking of moving out of the city? Well, in this video, we will be talking about everything you need to know about moving to Antipolo. Make sure to check the timestamps down below so you can see all the topics that we will be discussing today. Without further ado, without further.
Alright, let's begin. One of the main reasons why my clients are considering moving out of the city is that they don't feel comfortable with the congestion. Parents are especially concerned with the safety of their children. Kawawa naman, they have to stay indoors and not play outside, which is the case for most condo residents. Second is the constant lockdowns that makes them feel like they need more space at home. With the amount of time we spend at home, there's a need for more space, like a home gym, because gyms are always closed. And the home office, because work from home arrangements are now the norm. Also, ngayon uso na yung plantito-plantita culture, di ba? So they now want a garden space or private amenities like a pool.
When it comes to moving out of the city, the two most popular options are the south and the east. So in this section, we will be comparing both to see why Antipolo is a far better option.
South versus East. The first thing that pops into someone's mind is the distance, so let's check Google Maps. Let's use Nuvali as an example. If I had to go to Rockwell from Nuvali, it would take about 45 kilometers or 1 hour and 45 minutes. Pero if I were to come from Antipolo going to Rockwell, it would only take roughly 45 minutes or 21 kilometers. Now let's talk about travel costs. The first thing to consider is the toll. I checked toll rates online and cashmart.ph came up. It looks updated naman. And let's use the same example. If I needed to go to the city from Nuvali, it cost me 175 pesos per direction. Sakat nun na. That would total you 350 pesos. Now imagine if you work in Makati most of the week. So 350 times 5 times 4 weeks, sagad na natin. That would be 7,000 a month just for toll.
But that's not all. Let's talk about gas. If the south is twice the distance compared to the east, you're also looking at twice the expense. In my experience living in Antipolo, my gas expense would be around 8,000 a month. If you double that, you're spending 16,000 a month just to go to the city. May traffic pa.
Now, another big concern for our clients before they decide to move is travel time, especially for those who still want to work in the city. So back to the example earlier, if the south has twice the distance as compared to the east, then technically you could be stuck in the car twice the time. So our clients usually ask,
Sige nga, if I live in Antipolo and I have to go to Quezon City, how long will that take?
let's look at Google Maps. Coming from Marcos Highway going to Cubao, that will be around 25 minutes or 9 kilometers.
25 minutes, exage.
Syempre, this is during lockdown, but from our experience on a good day, if you avoid traveling during rush hour, this is actually doable. However, when everything goes back to normal, you're probably looking at 45 minutes.
Oo nga naman. Going anywhere nowadays takes that long anyway.
For someone who wants to go to Pasig, Mandaluyong, Ortigas, and Makati, from Antipolo, that would be around 12 to 21 kilometers or 50 minutes without traffic, and a little above an hour when things go back to normal.
Did you know that Manila traffic is the second worst in the world next to India? The solution to this is improving infrastructure. The best thing about the South is it already has established infrastructure developments that makes it more accessible from Metro Manila. However, in the East naman, all the infrastructure developments are still underway. In this section, we will run through the roads and transportation projects that will make the East more accessible too.
Let's start with the Marcos Highway expansion. Dan took this video of the ongoing construction that's widening the road from 4 lanes to 10 lanes total. This will help decongest Marcos Highway as it will remove the bottleneck that happens by Masinag intersection. For those who commute like me, this next topic will benefit you the most. The LRT2, which connects the Taft area to Santolan Station, has now been extended all the way to Antipolo. And get this, the proposed MRT4 project has now been approved, and commuting from Antipolo to Ortigas, EDSA, and New Manila will now be much easier.
But that's not all. There's also the Pasig River Expressway that's being spearheaded by San Miguel Corporation, which will connect Antipolo to Manila.
And to top it all off, we have the Southeast Metro Manila Expressway, which is an elevated highway similar to the Skyway. In this image, you can see the exits, which will take you from Taguig, BGC area all the way to Quezon City, while having two exits by Antipolo on the Ortigas side and the Marcos Highway side.
If you're interested to learn more about the topic, we are currently working on a video that would detail the infrastructure developments in Antipolo. In my opinion, all these developments will be done in about 10 years. When that happens, real estate prices in the east will significantly increase, but actually the prices have already doubled in the past 2 years alone. Which brings me to the next topic, why Antipolo properties are a good investment. Lamudi, being one of the top real estate platforms in the country, recently published an article that recognizes the surging demand for Antipolo real estate as a result of the pandemic.
Next, let's talk about the things we love about living in Antipolo.
One of my favorite things about living in Antipolo is the altitude. This is a screenshot of a video we made for Sun Valley Estates in Antipolo, which has an altitude of 1,300 feet above sea level.
Ha! And check this out, it's around 1,300 feet above sea level.
With high altitude comes a colder climate. This is another screenshot from a different video we made showing you the temperature last February from another area in Antipolo. That area was about 300 feet above sea level only, so you can imagine how cold it can get in much higher areas like Sun Valley. But generally, a cooler climate is still common between the months of June to Feb.
You can watch both videos here on my YouTube page. Did you know that it also gets really foggy in Antipolo? Here's a drone footage that I took in Eastland Heights on a chilly day. Another great thing about living here is that you are surrounded by a lot of greenery, and you are very far away from Metro Manila's polluted air. As you can see, the layer of smog over the city is actually visible from Antipolo.
Now this was something that the Kramers have noticed on one of their videos as well.
Yung area na yan, imagine that, we're letting our kids breathe all of that air.
Speaking of the Kramers, have you seen their house tour? It has a lovely view of the city skyline, which Antipolo is also famous for. This is a video Dan took of Eastern Heights during sunset. The area is also known for its amazing golf course views. He took the shot standing on a property for sale which has this view of Laguna de Bay. Here's a photo he took at 5:45, which is overlooking the mountains.
Another good thing about living in Antipolo is that the property sizes are quite huge. You would normally find lots here starting at about 300 square meters all the way to 4,000 square meters. The benefit of having a big lot is of course you can have a big garden. This house was featured on Tatler magazine showing a unique garden design. If you want to see more gardens like this, you can actually follow the designer of this garden on Instagram at Balcony and Gardens. Antipolo has a wide variety of bird species that you don't normally see in the city, like yellowbirds or bluebirds, which I always see when I'm driving around the villages here. This is a group of bird watchers where you can learn more about these species.
And here is a local birdwatcher who went camping at Pintong Bukawe, which is just behind Eastland Heights. For more activities in the area, you can easily look it up on Google and you will find some of the famous spots that you can visit with your family and friends. Or check out our YouTube vlogs where we explore Antipolo's popular restaurants and other attractions. Antipolo may not be known for food, but it's rich with alfresco restaurants overlooking the city. Fun fact, our most famous dish is the suman, and we know the best place to buy it straight from the source. Check the link in the description. We'll place a link to show you where to find it. Also, one of the popular activities Antipolo is known for is golf, and there are at least 4 villages with golf courses in the area.
Comment down below if you know which one's the best one. One of the best things about living in the city is being close to malls, hospitals, and other establishments. Pero meron din naman ito sa Antipolo.
About the malls in the area, Robinson's Place Antipolo is the biggest mall you will find here. They're actually expanding this mall, as you can see on the left. For us, it's complete naman. It has several cinemas and popular establishments like Starbucks, National Bookstore, Ace Hardware Store, Conti's, and also, if you like yogurt, they have Gumi. And right across the mall, you will find the new Antipolo Public Wet Market, which is very clean and organized. But we are close to other malls like Ayala Mall Feliz and SM Masinag too.
About hospitals, we have several new hospitals in the area like Fatima University, Assumption Specialty Hospital, Metro Antipolo, and more. For schools, we have Assumption Antipolo, famous for their beautiful campus. Oh, and my mom was a teacher there for 35 years. Another school is LaSalle College, and you are not so far away from Ateneo, Miriam, and UP.
No place is perfect. So in the next topic, we will be talking about the inconveniences about living in Antipolo and how I personally cope with it.
The most inconvenient thing about Antipolo is the distance from Metro Manila. Relocating here would add another 10 to 20 kilometers. While this may be an inconvenient reality, the payoff is worth it. And the way I deal with this is to travel before or after rush hour. Also, the good thing is that more and more people are working from home, which means they don't need to go to the city so often. C5 is also now a rising CBD, where more jobs will be based.
Internet in some areas in Antipolo is a bit slow compared to the city, but with a rising number of people building houses here, internet companies have now been installing fiber internet in Antipolo. This photo was taken in Eastern Heights Village where PLDT Fiber installed their cables. Converge is also available in Sun Valley Village. Cell coverage may be a problem in some areas, but the good thing now is that there's fiber internet and you can always communicate over Wi-Fi naman.
If you've been to Antipolo, you would notice how the villages here are so massive. So if you didn't have a car, it might be a problem. However, most villages offer private shuttle services to and from the gate. So if this is a concern of yours, do also ask your agent if this is being offered in the village you are looking at.
Another adjustment you might need to make is the lack of specialty stores like Santis or healthy options and the like. And the way we cope with this is that we go to the city once a week and we do our shopping while there. Also, you can order these things via Grab or Lazada and they do reach Antipolo. We also have one Rostan's grocery though. Being surrounded by nature also has its negatives, like having lizards crawling around, termites, and sometimes you'll also see some snakes, but this is quite rare.
Dengue is quite common in the area as well. The best way to cope with this is by being prepared with off lotion and by making sure that your house doesn't have breeding areas. I got dengue twice already, and that's because I was too lazy to put on some off lotion.
Usually when clients visit Antipolo for the first time, they fall in love with the place. But oftentimes, they have misconceptions about the area. Maybe they heard it from the news or from other friends. So in this section, we will be clarifying all those concerns.
Number 1. Baha or flooding. For the most part, Antipolo area doesn't flood, but the access roads do. This was Dan stranded along Marcos Highway looking at the Marikina River. Dan took this video during Ulysses Typhoon. Since then, they have elevated the most effective areas, as you can see.
Landslides. In my memory, the only landslide incident that I know of and what most people know of is Cherry Hills, which happened August 3, 1999. If you read on the news about this, a lot of it has to do with the negligence of the developer. I will attach the link in the description below so you can read more on it. Other than that, I don't know of any other notable incident in the area. I also did call FIVOLX to inquire about the fault lines. And all they told me was that it was located closer to Marikina area, which is the West Valley fault line. Another client told us,
Dan, I don't know how to say this, but there's no Class A village in Antipolo.
actually we do have a few. There is the Peak by Philinvest, Fairmount Village and Town and Country Estates, where the minimum lot size is 600 up to 2,000 square meters. However, the one I am most excited for hasn't been launched yet. But in the 3 years I've been selling in Antipolo, this place has the most mind-blowing views of the city skyline with a really high altitude close to Tagaytay levels. It is called the Perch.
Looking for the best view in Antipolo? Well, after 3 years of selling here full-time, it's my first time to see a place like this, so you should wait for this area.
Technically, this place isn't for sale yet, but I have a handful of clients looking to get on the waitlist.
And lastly, some people think that Antipolo is still a probinsya. It sure does feel that way sometimes, but for us, we love it because it adds to the charm of the area.
There you have it. Hope you found this video informative. If you did, please like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.